Are you going to fix those problems that we are talking about?
Good morning, Clarence, as well as the listeners of the CapeTalk. I've listened to the voice notes and the messages that you read. Indeed, there is a call throughout South Africa, not necessarily in Cape Town, but wherever you go, people want a government that will bring change. The infrastructure was allowed to collapse, poor maintenance occurred over a period of the past 30 years. The new improvement was not attended to. Some projects, which were capital projects in as far as infrastructure is concerned, were given to wrong people who at the end delivered poor quality, let alone not maintaining what we have. The IFP is determined that if the people of South Africa can trust us with their vote, the infrastructure is one key area. If you want to boost the economy of our country, you must concentrate on infrastructure, your roads, maintain them, build new roads. The railway system must be up to scratch, because to have a safe force going to work, your road infrastructure must be well maintained so that you ensure that you deal with the movement of people in the country without placing them in danger. The railway system must be a key point in terms of focus, because if you deal with the transportation, importation, your railway system must be in a good state. I agree with one caller, or the one person who made a comment that as long as there is cadre deployment, the IFP is very clear. We will do away with cadre deployment. Firstly, in government and in the state-owned entities, you must firstly do audit of the staff in order to see...
Is that a skills audit?
The skills audit of the staff, in order to ensure that the people who are deployed there were deployed on the basis of capabilities. If not, you must find a way in terms of labor laws how to remove them and employ people with sufficient skills in order to deliver the required results.
I am chatting to the Honourable Velenkosini Hlabisa, leader of the Inkatha Freedom Party. I did speak to Dr. Pali Leochla a little earlier today, and he was saying we've got great data and a greater ability to get data, to inform policy. We've got great policy. In fact, policy is informed by the data that he's achieved, certainly as Statistician General since the year 2000. But he says we're not going to achieve anything without a professional civil service. Do you agree with that?
I quite agree with that. We must professionalize the civil service. That is why I indicated that the issue of cadre deployment should be brought to an end. Even amongst the people who are deployed as ministers, it should be capable people. Do not deploy people as ministers because they hold key positions that will drive the implementation of correct policies to bring change, to correspond with the data which is on hand. But if you deploy people on the basis of friendship, because they were struggling, they have a record of being in prison or in exile or coming from a certain family which had a name in politics, but with no capability, you are not taking the country anywhere. The IFP will put as a priority that competency must be a determining factor in whatever position a person will occupy, either a political deployee or a civil servant. We must professionalize our civil service in order to get the maximum benefit to turn things around. But the truth is, we are where we are as a country because of the government of the day. We must stop complaining about apartheid. 30 years is enough to bring a change in a country. And our country is going down the drain because of poor management, corruption, and incompetent governance, which we have been subjected to in a period of 30 years. Of course, things were better from 1994 to 2004. But after 2004 to date, things have turned upside down because of the failure of the government to introduce consequence management and the failure of the government to concentrate on key priority areas. The issue of creating job opportunities should be a prime issue for the government dealing with crime in a place with a high crime rate. You will not find business people eager to come and invest in those areas. Even the foreign investors will not be keen to do so because of the high rate of crime. Load shedding destroyed our economy. Load shedding rests squarely on the door of the ruling party. If you do not maintain the infrastructure you have, it cannot sustain you.
Sure. I think you're talking universal kind of stuff here, that every single South African, regardless of culture, religion, belief system, wants for this particular country. The perception of the Inkatha Freedom Party, maybe here in the Deep South and elsewhere in the country, is that it is rooted in maybe Zulu cultural tradition, maybe talking to the electorate and the needs of the electorate in KwaZulu-Natal. Some even go as far as accusing it of being a narrow ethno-nationalist kind of movement. How would you correct perceptions around the Inkatha Freedom Party?
I think people have been misled through the propaganda that has been used against the IFP. Let me share with you. In 1994 to 2004, the IFP was part of the Government of National Unity, holding key position in our country, like the Department of Home Affairs was under the control of the IFP for 10 years. All the laws in our country, including tomorrow, will be celebrating the human rights in South Africa. It was under the IFP's ministry that the idea of this holiday tomorrow be called the Human Rights Day, it came into existence. At CODESA, because we are not limited in KwaZulu-Natal, it is the IFP that came and drove through the principle of the Bill of Rights. It was not there. The Bill of Rights protects every South African, not a person of a Zulu speaking or of KwaZulu-Natal. That is on record. It is the IFP. As South Africa has 9 provinces as we speak today, the ANC was against the provinces because it believed in a unitary state. It is the IFP that said, if you want an effective government, let us have South Africa a federal type of government with provinces and local spheres, which is the local government, because you need to devolve power from the centrality at a higher point of government. As I speak today, every South African who follows politics will attest that if the IFP was not present at CODESA, we wouldn't be having 9 provinces, we wouldn't be having the local government in South Africa. And the next step for the IFP, if people can trust us and make the IFP one of the deciders at a government level, we will devolve power from the national government, more power in terms of fighting with crime, give more power to provinces to have their own police system, and devolve power down to the local municipal level, that they have more power in dealing with crime, with education, with health, the issues that affect people on a daily basis. But I'm very happy. Our focus now as the IFP is to expand the national footprint of the IFP. As I'm here talking to the people of Cape Town, in the next coming few years, We will be having a vibrant IFP at a local level, provincial level. But what is immediate in front of us is 29 May. Major decisions are done at the national government. We invite the people of Cape Town throughout the 9 provinces, but this radio station is serving Cape Town people that this time around, give your vote to the IFP because we have a track record in terms of governance. When we are in government, we are able to deliver, we are transparent, we are accountable, and we bring integrity to government. And that is why, because South Africa is lacking of leaders with integrity, of leaders who are bold to take hard decisions, even including the consequence management. That is why the IFP, we're not afraid that the foreign nationals who do not have specialized skills must be assisted to go back to their respective countries, because if you have people you do not know, how many are they and why are in your country, in terms of planning, in terms of budgeting, how are you going to ensure that you budget accordingly?